Okay, welcome to ETN News. I'm going to bring a few things to your attention what's destroying the earth and harmful to us. And why were millions of plastic shade balls dumped into LA, Los Angeles, Reservoir? Now, they claim it's to help, keep the water from evaporating. You still have a lot of evaporation is what it says. And the thing about it is when it keeps it from evaporating, then the next city over or the next state over won't get no rain like it should because they're holding the rain back. It's natural. It's the way the earth is made for dew to go up into the sky, turn to clouds, and come back down as rain in another area. It does that all over the world. It's all, it's supposed to be balanced. I'll put it that way. It's all supposed to be balanced. Using shade balls and reservoirs may use up more water. It takes like 3 years to replace the water that they use in the shade balls from the, matching with the evaporation. Now let's go up here. The problem is that a chemical reaction can occur when chlorinated water containing high levels of bromide is exposed to sunlight, creating bromate, a suspected carcinogen, or however how they pronounce that. I don't know how they pronounce that. But anyway, according to discard studies, shade balls may leach BPA chemicals into the reservoir waters. BPA. Let's go see what this is, what it really is. I try to get it close enough for you to see, without me having to read all those, fancy words. But anyway, according to the FDA, exposure to less than 2.5 milligrams per pound, 5 milligrams, and that's a body weight per day, is safe. What most people are only exposed to 0.1 minus 2.2 micrograms per pound. Now, a body weight per day. However, some studies suggest that low levels of BPA may be harmful to the normal development of babies, infants under the age of 2. Possible health effects included. Now, babies, you tell me, how many ways are they trying to depopulate already? And when it comes to baby formula, where was it? How many children, it's just bad. This is not good at all for children under 2. And it's not good for any of us at all. Plus, they're taking and drying out the, keeping it from evaporating, and that makes rain in another state. And then they turn around and act like it's safe, and it's good to be in drinking water. It's okay, everything like that. It's messing with people. I mean, health. This is not the only thing. We got several ways that they are destroying the earth and us. Now we're talking about cell phones. The symptoms that is commonly experienced, it's redness, tingling, and burning sensations, and we got vegetative symptoms, fatigue, tiredness, concentration difficulties, dizziness, nausea, heart problems, and even digestive disturbances. So, the cell phones. Yeah, it makes money. It helps us. And, because we need our cell phones. But is it worth it? Some studies have found that people who live near cell towers experience health complaints like dizziness, nausea, headaches, tinnitus, and insomnia, and other potential health risks include fatigue, muscle pain, visual symptoms, memory loss, and sleep disturbance, and more. This is not good either. It really ain't. And we're talking about, let's go look at something else. First, let's go look and see what the radio frequency RF energy. Let's look this up. RF energy. Alright, exposure to very high RF intensities can result in heating of biological tissue and increase in body temperature. Tissue damage in humans could occur during exposure to high RF levels because of the body's inability to cope with or dissipate the excessive heat that could be generated. Now, I read one earlier, it's talking about heart problems and things like that. It could cause a lot of stuff. Now, lakes, the big lakes and the big dams they got that are supposed to help things and everything, running water evaporates faster because it intensifies in its energy and it puts up mist, fog, and it brings it to the sky, turns to clouds, and then dumps it in another place. The more dams, the less water across the states. It's getting crazy. But anyway, HAARP. What is HAARP? Transmit frequencies are selectable in the range of 2.7 to 10 megahertz, and since the antennas from a sophisticated phased array, the transmitted beam, now listen, transmitted beam can take many shapes, can scan over a wide angular range, and multiple beams can be formed. A wide angular range. Is it like this right here? Are they making the heat come up from the earth? Along with everything else and the solar panels. I showed you the update on the solar panels yesterday. But is this what it's causing? And if they keep it up, this right here, this is the craton of the United States. And let me get a better picture. Okay, the craton of the United States. If this dries out, now I'm talking about craton. We talking about, nothing, it's thicker than you've ever seen. But this craton right here, if it dries out with this heat coming across it all the time, causing droughts, everything like that. Even Greenland is getting hotter. But anyway, get back to this. This will crack. And if you are so many thousand feet deep or hundreds of feet deep of nothing but thick rock, when it snaps, what's it going to do? This goes all the way down through North America. This is the solid part. People claims it are safe. But this can snap. And if it snaps in two and breaks, just like any other rock on this earth that breaks over time after so many millions of years, thousands of years, they snap. They get weaker. When it does, that's when everything will come down through the mountains in the U.S. And they're going to keep it up until this right here does snap. They're not going to stop. Alright, now let's look at cloud seeding. And it brings the rain down. And it has silver oxide, in it. That's harmful. But while popular in some countries, including the U.S., cloud seeding is controversial because it can have unintended consequences, such as too much rain and increased pollution. Well, if it's getting too much rain, they're causing the rain to drop there, and it's not going over to other states, causing droughts in other states. Don't they have any common sense to them at all? All this is causing droughts. They're going to dry out the earth, the craton will crack. It's just going to be a total disaster. No one can get away from that. They can hide in their bunkers if they want to, because they'll all crush like a pop can being mashed with your foot. Okay, and if you look it up, it'll tell you to keep cell phones in your back pocket or a backpack or something not touching your skin, because it can leak so many levels into your system and can be harmful. If they're not harmful, then why would it be like that? Okay, this is on the 10th of May, 2024. And then we got the 11th. You can see it move over the anomalies or whatever they're doing to dry the earth out. And it is under the earth. It is heat moving across. We've done determined that. But what's causing it? All of this that they're doing to us. That's the 12th. Here's the 13th. Had a lot of storms over this way on the 13th. So you can't see some of this because of the storms. And 14th, we had rain, which you can still see some here, up here in the east, over here, and over here on the west coast, coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I started watching this about 3 years ago, there's only 3. Now there's 5. And it just keeps coming across. And right now, it's not picking it up yet. It ain't showing the 15th. I mean, the rest of the 15th. And this is the 16th. So it's not showing that either. But it'll show it later. And then tomorrow you can see where the 15th will show up in certain spots. Okay, what's going on with our world instead of just our country? If you fill in solar panels, if you take solar panels and you fill all this in, thousands of miles of solar panels, not all of it, but big chunks in each state. It'll have a glow back from each state. And like I showed you, they even said it themselves, it does push everything back up into the atmosphere. The heat, it can cause droughts. And if they're a big solar panel farm, then it's running off, so it's not taking on no water. It's like clearing a whole big strip job for miles and miles, and not planting anything back, because the water just comes straight off the panels, straight on the ground, rolling down, and floods the next community out. They lose their homes over this. And the lakes, dams break, take thousands of lives, plus they're doing damage what time they're doing it. Windmills and all that, there's a better way for electricity than all this junk they're coming up with, solar panels and everything. Everything has to be computerized or they're not happy. And most of them is in their from 70s to 100 in age. So they know they're not going to have to live in this. And probably don't even have no children, probably don't care. I don't understand this. But why are they destroying our earth and knowing they're doing it? And that's not all. There are several more. It would take hours to show you everything that they're doing and it's going on. Okay, we'll take a quick look at the earthquakes. If I put tsunami station or earthquakes on the headline, it's hard to get it to load. I don't understand it. But maybe it'll straighten up. Anyway, we got the 2.7 up here in Canada and 4.0 southeast of Blue Lake, California. And I bet you this update uploads fast. 5.3 Tonga. Not much going on. Let's check out and see what we got on the small quakes. Oh, back over here. East southeast of Cliff, California, New Jersey. And Hawaii, let's zoom down here, see what's going on in Hawaii. You got these going all the way down off the coast, next to off the coast, but they're going right down into the slump. And then we got these DEW weapons, which, I'm glad to see it. They got one over in Israel, but the U.S. gives Israel $1.2 billion for giant laser beam weapon. U.S. Army may look to produce Israel's iron beam laser. And, this was back in when they gave it to them. Let me see. This was November the 8th, 2023. When it's talking about that one, April the 25th, 2024. A bill signed into law by by Joe Biden, includes $1.2 billion in funding for Israel so they're giving them $1.2 billion for a beam laser weapon. So people that say that the beams are not real, called DEW, then what are they giving them? What did they give them? Yeah, this is a lot of stuff going on in our world that people, they see stuff, and I used to share it on Facebook about the energy weapons. Oh, that's fake. Oh, that's not real. That's fake. That's this. That's that. Put themselves in a safe place in their mind, what time things is going on, and like this other stuff like HARP. You wouldn't think it was real. You wouldn't think it was possible, but it is. It's real. Beyond Iron Dome is defending against DEWs possible. Yeah, this is some wild stuff right here. You need to look it up and study into it. That way you can see for yourself of what's going on. All right, now you look up storm machines. They're claiming that it's fake and this and that, when we know it's not. We know they can make storms. And this here, with these beams, and I showed you beams in a slant like this that HARP can make. If they're drying out the earth, we're going to be in trouble. Big trouble. Because there's going to be so many droughts. And this heat right here, what does it cause? Let me put it this way. In the storm machines, if you take, so many tons of water and you heat it up and you cause it to go up in steam and it comes up in mist and it goes toward the sky, what's that cause? It causes clouds. Clouds form rain, forms rain clouds. Then it goes to the other states and drops the rain off. Well, heat brings storms and rain. And people think, well, it's been rainy all summer long. There's no way it can be a drought. It's all summer. Every day we're seeing rain. That don't matter when the rain's not making it into the earth from all these solar storms and all that radiation and energy weapon. HARP and this and that. It doesn't matter. I don't care how much rain you get if it's taking it out as fast as it can come in, plus it's taking out like a quarter more each time as it brings in. Finally, you're going to run out of water. Solar flares, solar storms, they evaporate water from the earth. You can check on that. Look it up. Don't take my word on none of this. Look it up. And it evaporates water from the earth. What happens when it evaporates water? Earth heats up. What does heat cause? Storms, tornadoes. It just brings on everything. So, and then after the earth heats up so much, it's going to repeat itself, and it's going to counter-react to this. The earth is, because of the universe and everything, the way everything's made. It's going to counter-react, and then we're all going to be into ice age. But like I said, they won't have to live it. They'll be past and gone, and probably just a few years, some of them so old. And it's not right to do that. When I get old, I want my friends and family and, anybody's kids, children, to have a safe environment to live in. It shouldn't be like that. Why are they just trying to destroy it? But there's a lot more than that. You look it up, there's a lot more. And most of all these are putting poisons in the waters, and they are evaporating the water away from the earth and causing droughts. Like they'll make it rain here or here or here, just examples. And the other states don't get rain because they cut through the clouds with the jets and things, heated them up, put in the chemicals and all that, and it made it fall right there in the next area, when nature was supposed to take it all the way across, and it runs in a cycle. Everything is balanced, and without balance, what's going to happen? You're going to fall. Common sense. What is wrong with people? Our leaders, put it that way. Anyway, I'll see you on the next updates. Think about this, look it up, check it out yourself. Because, they're on me so hard and trying to block me from getting updates out there, and they don't want nobody to view it and everything like that, they're going to make sure that I'm not around very long. Without YouTube support and no other support, I won't be here very long. So, and the next time I leave the channel, I will delete it completely because it's becoming a hard fight and I can't fight it alone. And this right here, this is a mess, and there ain't nothing we can do about it. They're running the show, and all we can do is watch the show and watch what happens after this show, after effects. They don't look at the future, they just look at what's going on right now. And they talk about fracking, oil drilling, all that can mess everything up. All of that can cause earthquakes, cracks the crust and everything. You can look that up too. I just don't have time myself. It's going to be a while before I get this one loaded. And I hope it ain't 8 to 10 hours, because I can put the camera on here and prove to you some of my updates that get hit. It takes up to 8 to 14 hours. I mean, that one night it went all night, all day, up to the next night. That just ain't right. That's too much of loading time. And then they send me things down here on the right hand side asking me, do I see my loading time? And was it accurate of how many hours it took to load and everything like that? They won't ask you, are there a problem with it? Is it taking it too long to load? No, they don't want to ask you nothing like that, because they know they're messing up. But they got to, because they're told to. Like if I was working in a factory and my boss come and tell me, you don't do this right, you're fired. Same thing goes on here. If they don't do exactly everything they're told, like YouTube, if they don't stop you from getting views like they're told, they lose their job. It's cut off, just like Twitter did one time. They got to do it or they get shut down. So they got to do it. It's the only way they're making a living. It's YouTube. Alright, I'll see you on the next updates. Everybody stay safe. And we'll be watching.